Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your movie apprentice, and it is Oscars weekend. And as is tradition, we are going to be doing an overall predictions for this. Now, unlike my BAFTAs prediction, I am going to be doing this based on what has won on the previous awards this circuit. So there's going to be no emotional contribution into this one. For the BAFTAs, I kind of went with mostly vibes. This one, I'm going based on the track record of what's been winning at all the other award ceremonies leading up to the Oscars. But to add a bit of flavor for this one, I'm also going to throw myself some forfeits into this one. There are 23 awards to get through, so gonna make myself some challenges. If I get less than 5 right, I have to do a video talking about the Golden Raspberry winner for worst film and argue why that should have won Best Picture. If I get less than 10 correct, I will review a random film from the bottom 100 on IMDb, and I have to only say positive things. So I'm not going to give it automatically a good review, but I'm not allowed to slate the movie at all. I can only talk about the good elements of that movie. And if I get less than 15 right, there is going to be a second chance review. There is a total of about 47 films since I've started officially rating movies on Letterboxd, which I've only really started doing over the last 2-3 years, that have come at 1.5 stars and below. So I'm going to be putting up that whole list should this be my punishment, and you guys get to pick which of those movies I should give a big second chance to and give a second viewing and updated review for. That's it. If I get 15 or more, no forfeits is the long and short of that one. But without further ado, let's jump right into this. But first, make sure you subscribe for more video reviews, rankings, video essays, and such coming all the time. We're going to start off with original screenplay first of all, as that tends to come quite early in the show. We have the nominees of Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. Now, it has been a rather mixed bag this award season, as a few different winners have come about. So we have A Real Pain winning the BAFTA for original screenplay, but The Substance won it at the Critics' Choice Awards, and other winners like Honora at the Writers Guild Awards and the National Film Society gave it to A Real Pain as well. Based on the vibes, whilst I feel like The Substance the one that should win this, I do feel like A Real Pain is going to walk away with this awards. It just feels like more prestigious awards bodies have looked at A Real Pain, and it has been getting a fair bit of love, especially Kieran Culkin's performance. So I'm going to say A Real Pain will probably be the one that takes it, but I would not be surprised if The Substance is the one that goes away with this one overall. And of course, we're going to go straight into adapted screenplay next. Adapted, we have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. Going based on who's been winning the awards this season, we are looking at Conclave has been getting basically all the love. It won the Golden Globe, it won the BAFTA, it won the Critics' Choice. I see no reason why Conclave does not walk away with the big one as well. This is a very straightforward win for me. Now, next, we're going to go into the VFX category. Nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. These are all fantastic films on a visual effects level. And going into the winners on this award circuit, it does feel like Dune Part 2 has been the one that has been getting all love for this award. They won the BAFTAs, they won the Critics' Choice, so I see no reason again why the Oscars, the Academy would sway away from visual effects. So I'm going to conclusively say this is going to be going to Dune Part 2. Production design is something similar when it comes to who's been winning the awards so far. In terms of the nominations, we have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I'd love to see a Nosferatu win, but it's probably not going to happen. I feel like that film came out a little bit too late to get some major awards hype. And with the BAFTAs and Critics' Choice, they weren't the same way, and I think the Oscars will do the same as well. That will be Wicked, that will walk away with the Production Design Award. Then we come into Original Song, and this has become a one-horse race despite the best song being Touch the Sky. It's not even being nominated for this. So we are left with this list of El Mau, The Journey, Like a Bird, Mi Camino, and Never Too Late. Unfortunately, looking at these and looking at all the awards, like I think we all know who's going to walk away with this one. Elmar is going to be Amelia Perez's big win of the night, alongside another award that is almost a lock at this point that I'll get to a little bit later. But Elmar is going to walk away with the best original song. As for original score, we have The Brutalist, we have Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. And this is another one that feels like it's straightforward when you go into who's been winning this kind of award over this award season. It's actually led heavily to challengers. The challengers isn't nominated for this one. So the outlier with a massive win is The Brutalist at the BAFTAs. And I can't argue with it. The score in The Brutalist is fantastic. So I would be very surprised if The Brutalist did not walk away with this one. Though I would love a cheeky win for Conclave, but I don't think that's where they're going to get their gold on this occasion. Makeup and hair, we have A Different Man, we have Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. And this one, if we're going back through the awards, there has been one runaway winner at all the major ones, and that is The Substance. And that is another one I can't argue with. Just that third act alone is flawless when it comes to makeup and hairstyling. So that's where I'm going to lean with this particular award. Now we go into international feature. From Brazil, we have I'm Still Here. From Denmark, we have The Girl with the Needle. France, Amelia Perez. Germany, The Seed of a Sacred Fig. And from Latvia, Flow. And Flow, I am very curious about. I still stand by the best foreign language film out of the ones that are getting nominated has been I'm Still Here by an absolute landslide. It's pretty much a lock that Amelia Perez is going to walk away with this one. Short documentary. There is no precursor on this. I've gone through every major sort of awards ceremony, looked through their winners and nominees, and short documentary isn't something that tends to exist in these awards, so I am completely blind with this one. I know nothing about any of these films, so I am effectively going to throw a dart at a board on this one. Nominees are Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I'm going to say Instruments of a Beating Heart. Don't know, I just feel like just based on the title and what jumps out at me, that's the one. It's a very pathetic reason to predict that one, but there is very little to work on this one. I've not seen any short documentaries, so unfortunately, though, I have to predict everything to make this forfeiture work, and this is my shot in the dark prediction. As for animated short, we have Beautiful Men, we have The Shadow of the Cypress, we have Magic Candles, we have Wonder to Wonder, and we have Yuck. And based on other award situations, I feel like Wonder to Wonder, with their BAFTA win, is going to follow through with this one. But this is another one that could go any way when it comes to the awards, because there are very few awards bodies to really look back on to try and predict the outcome of this particular award. As for live action short, we have Alien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. So this is another one that I am basically blind on completely. The winner at the BAFTAs was Rock, Paper, Scissors, which isn't nominated for this one. So when I'm thinking of live action short film, it feels like, for me personally, it just feels like it's a toss up between I'm Not a Robot and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. I'm probably going to lead more towards The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. This is another one that's just kind of a vibes award. You can see why I didn't predict these shorter films at the BAFTAs. Documentary feature film is an interesting one because there was no Superman nominated for this one. And that's the one I would have immediately gone for based on who's been winning on previous ones. But we have Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'Etat, and Sugarcane. So if I mispronounce any of those awards, I have seen one of these movies, and I thought Black Box Diaries was really good. I feel like I should go for that one because that's the one that I know the most of, but I don't think that one's walking away with it. Because we had a Within 20 Days in Mariupol last year, which covered the Russia-Ukrainian war, I feel like just to try and create a sense of unity in communities and make a great little speech, especially with the culmination and ceasefire, I feel like we are going to be leaning towards No Other Land because I just feel like this is a time where Hollywood's going to try and preach a lot of unity. And for me, that feels like a film that's going to try and elevate that message. But now, through all those, time to get into some categories I'm way more familiar with. So we have editing, first of all. So with the editing um, one, we have Honora the Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. Going through who's been winning the editing, it has quite a good little mixture. Challengers won the Critics' Choice, but it feels like Challengers only got love at Critics' Choice. There's no Oscar awards. Conclave did win it at the BAFTAs, so I feel like I should lean towards Conclave, but I have a feeling they might mix it up a bit. And I do feel like I don't feel that's gonna go to Amelia Perez because it just feels like they're trying to distance themselves from that film as much as possible, especially after how much it swept the Golden Globes. But for me personally, I feel like this could be a cheeky one that they give over to Honora. I feel like the editing in Honora, especially in some of the fast paced scenes, I think it's really good. The montage sequences are really good. I feel like Nora could just about edge this one. I almost want to give it to Wicked, but I do feel like a lot of it relies on the lack of cuts and showcasing the choreography. So I don't think that would work. Yeah, I am going a bit rogue with this one. I'm going for Nora for editing. As for best sound, we go into sound with a complete unknown, June Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. And for me, well, I would go Dune Part 2, but just quickly going through who's won it before, it feels like Dune Part 2 is the one that has been getting the love in it. So, easy one for me, this Dune Part 2 to win the best sound. Now, costume design. This is one of the most underrated awards in the whole show because looking at the costumes, I love seeing the clips and then showing the making of his outfits. I always love this particular award. Like everyone always looks fantastic in this one. Looking at the nominees for costume, we are looking at A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And going through who has won it, it has been Wicked at the Critics' Choice, Wicked at the BAFTAs. So I would love some old school London aesthetic when it comes to Nosferatu to win this, or even Conclave with their impeccable red outfits. It does feel like Wicked is the one that will walk away with this one just based on who has been winning the awards for this up to this point. So, Wicked, congratulations, you get that costume design win. Cinematography is my favorite part of cinema, and this award is an interesting one because there's been a spread of winners over different awards season. Cinematography, we've got The Brutalist, June Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. Maria's literally just been completely glossed over for this one, which is surprising. Everyone was saying Angelina Jolie was going to be the big one in the awards race, but I don't think she's been nominated that much either. So I think you can count Maria out, which is a shame because it's an absolutely gorgeous film. Ed Lachman does a fantastic job in that cinematography. But going into winners, so we have had The Brutalist win the BAFTA. We've had Nosferatu win the Critics' Choice. Nickel Boys win the National Society of Film Critics Award and even the New York Film Critics Circle. But those feel very minor compared to others. I will say this is the only time I'm going to go on my heart on this one because it's a coin toss. I do not think Nosferatu walks away empty handed at the Oscars. And I'm going to go Nosferatu for cinematography because that film is simply art. It's probably going to be The Brutalist. I'm going to be slapping myself because I didn't pick The Brutalist, but Nosferatu is that watching a painting on screen. If that's not what cinematography is all about, then pack up, let's go home because we don't know anything. Now, animated feature has had quite a weird one, to be honest. Going into the awards season, everyone was thinking it was going to be Inside Out versus The Wild Robot. Inside Out has basically been completely ignored on this. Though it is nominated, we have Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul, The Wild Robot, and the quality in this animation category is fantastic. It feels very understated, this category, because last year's animation was arguably the best year for animation ever. But having just seen Memoir of a Snail, which quite frankly I think is one of the best films in a very long time. And if I had to vote for this personally, I would vote Memoir of a Snail personally. But in terms of who's been winning the big awards, sure, we have had the BAFTA go to Wallace and Gromit, but I feel like that was British bias at its fullest. We had Flow win the Golden Globe, this silent film from Latvia that has still come out in the UK yet, so I can't speak for its quality, but it's been getting some low key love. Wild Robot won the Critics' Choice Awards, but Flow won the New York Film Critics Circle. However, I look towards some other awards. The PGA Awards, the producers, they went Wild Robot. Now, the Annie Awards, the Animation Awards, you look at the winners for that this year. On the feature length animation side of things, everyone went for the Wild Robot, and on the TV side, it all went to Arcane. Like the Annie Awards, the animation people love the Wild Robot. So I'm saying the Wild Robot will take the Oscar. It just feels like there's no way they do not let the Wild Robot walk away with this one. Now we are finally here, the big six, the six that are the only ones that matter according to 80% of the viewership. And I'm doing these last because, quite frankly, you gotta appreciate everything that is done in film behind the camera before you can appreciate the performances in front of the camera. Now, we'll go into our supportings first of all. We're gonna start off with the lock of this whole Oscars, to be honest, the supporting actor, because quite frankly, it's incredible how one-sided it has been for this award. Actor in a supporting role: Yura Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, and Jeremy Strong. No being on the bus, it's Kieran Culkin. Like, he has just won every single award for this, and Kieran Culkin is getting an Oscar. There is no way they are pivoting at the big one. And it's the same story for actress in a supporting role. We have Monica Barbaro in The Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones as The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Everyone's gonna say it's a legacy win, this one, but Zoe Saldana, her character, like her performance in Emilia Perez is good. The character is weak, the writing is weak, but her performance elevates the weak writing on that side of things. And she is well deserving of an Oscar at this point in her career. We go into now the best actor in a leading role. Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes in Conclave, and Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. This one, we only had one spanner in the works when it came to this, which was the Screen Actors Guild giving it to Timothy, which was a shock, because I thought if anyone was going to win that wasn't Adrian Brody, it would be Ray Fiennes. Apparently, some people, this is unconfirmed sources, but apparently a couple of voters have said they didn't vote for Ray Fiennes because he's won before, even though he hasn't. But Adrian Brody has won before. But this is Adrian Brody's to lose. He has won pretty much every award apart from the SAG Awards. So that's where we're going with that one. Now, the real toss up, the spicy one, is the Best Actress Award, because we have the tiniest hope of a race for this one. So we have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. This is basically a two-horse race. Should be a three-horse race because a lot of people have slept on Fernanda Torres' performance in I'm Still Here. But Fernanda won the actress in drama. Demi Moore won the musical or comedy, which I don't see as either of those, but that's by the Globes. Mikey Madison won the BAFTA. The Critics' Choice was Demi Moore. The Screen Actors Guild also gave it to Demi Moore. Out of this is the tough one. Do we get a late surge by Mikey Madison? Do we get a renewed, vigoring support for Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here? I do feel like, though, Demi Moore will win this one, but I'm going to be curious to the voting ratios. I feel like Demi Moore, this category, will be the tightest on this Oscars race. So for director, we have Sean Baker for Honora, Bradley Corbett for The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown James Mangold, Drax Oliard for Emilia Perez, and Coralie Fargette for The Substance. Now, I would love Coralie to get it. going into who could win it, like we go through the winners. It's been mostly a Bradley Corbett show. There have been some out there winners. John M. Chu won the Critics' Choice Award for Wicked. He's not nominated for this. So I do feel like it's going to be a Bradley Corbett win for this one, though honestly, could give it to any of these directors. They've all done a fantastic job in their respective films. So yeah, Bradley Corbett for director, which brings us to the big one, the 10 films nominated for Best Picture. And it's a banger of a lineup. I said in my ranking video that a lot of you got really annoyed by. 7 of the 10 could have easily been number one, and it just was always chopping and changing for me personally. So let's go through those 10 nominees. Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. I'm going through the winners leading up to this because everyone loves Best Picture winner. The Golden Globes, they always had a cheating twofer. We had The Brutalist for Best Drama, Amelia Perez for the musical comedy. Then Conclave came in with the BAFTAs. The Critics' Choice gave it to Anora. Nickel Boys won it at the National Society of Film Critics. Brutalist won it at the New York Film Critics Circle. The Producers Guild gave it to Anora. The Directors Guild gave it to Anora. And the LA Film Critics Circle also gave it to Anora. Based on all this evidence, it feels like The Brutalist has run out of steam. This is gonna be a shock win for sure. And genuinely, I would have said Brutalist or Conclave would win it because Conclave has been winning all the ensemble awards as well, and that tends to be the best picture for those particular awards. But I do feel like Nora's had such a strong late surge. I think Nora's going to take it. I think Nora might surprise people. Nora will be the big shock. Hopefully, not in the way that Moonlight beat La La Land after that little mix up. But yeah, give us a surprise winner. I feel like Nora will take it. So that's it. Who I think will win every award at the Oscars. I would love to have done a head versus heart prediction like I did last year, but this year I thought throwing a few forfeits, keep things spicy and interesting. And good knows if I somehow just get most of these wrong and have to justify why the worst film at the Razzies should win the best picture, I might have to just delete my channel or do a massive apology video. But I would not be surprised if I do one of the other 2 forfeits. But we'll see. Make sure you stay subscribed for more videos that's coming all the time and those forfeits. And make sure you click that like button if you made it to the end. Give me your predictions down below. Make it fun. Tell me who you think will win versus who you want to win. Because I always find there's that what does your heart say, but what does the mind say kind of deal when it comes to these predictions. And it's all in good fun, guys. Like, hopefully, it will be a decent ceremony. Like, get your drinks out, take a drink every time there's a Trump joke, or there's a virtuous England speech, or there's a wardrobe malfunction, or someone tripping, or a cringy joke that makes an actor look uncomfortable. It's all in good fun. It's the most fun time of the year for film fans. And until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I've been Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.